Do we know? Hello. Let's see. Hello, are we live again? Are we good? Let me know. Is anybody going to join us this time? Okay, so I think I'm live this time. Yes, we're live again. I was just live and apparently I'm not talking to anyone, so I think we are good to go again. Let's try this. Give people a couple of minutes to join in. All right. Hello, everybody just joining. So I thought I would do a live today. Yay! I can see the chat now. We're all good. We're here. Whew. So I thought I would do a live today because I've not recorded or edited a video this week because we've had family visiting. So yeah, I just thought that I would do this instead because it was easier. It meant I got to spend a really nice time with family while they were visiting. It was my mum and dad. Hi, mum and dad. So we had a really lovely time with them, and I just didn't want to think that I was like taking a lot of time away from them. So I thought a live would be the best way. And next weekend, so we're just 1 week shy of living in Florida for 5 months now, which to me is just mind blowing. It's crazy. So yeah, I thought we'd do a little bit of a recap and an update. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And I did ask over on my Instagram some questions. So if you just follow me here on YouTube and not on Instagram, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. It's usually linked down below in the description. Probably not on this live yet until I've done it, but if you click on one of my older videos, then my Instagram link is there, because that's where I tend to ask my questions for like lives or future videos. So I asked you if you had any questions about moving to Florida, our life. Now I've been here for 5 months. I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update, and I just checked before I came on and I've screenshot them and I've got them all here because there was quite a lot of questions. So I'm just gonna crack straight on into the questions. So the first one is, how have you found getting used to driving in Florida? So I think because we'd come to Florida like last year and the year before. Last year we came for a month and the year before we came for like 3 and a bit weeks. So we got used to it like quite quickly because we were driving then anyway. So actually moving over here and driving, now it just feels like second nature. And I actually saw, I think we were watching Clarkson's Farm, and I saw them driving like from the driver's perspective, and it's on the left hand side of the road. I was like, oh, that feels weird. So yeah, it just shows you that it's really easy to get used to, and I've adapted really quickly. And then the question on from that, which is strange, is process of getting a Florida's driver's license. So for me, it wasn't very straightforward. It was quite tricky. I don't know, like, if it was this hard for everyone or just me from like the type of visa I'm personally on. But a typical process of getting a Florida's driver's license is you have to like book an appointment for a theory test and a practical test, the same as you would do in the UK, and that's it. It's basically should be easy, but for you to be able to take your theory test, you have to like prove so many like identity documents, and because like I said, the type of visa I'm on, I wasn't able to get some of those. So we ended up going back to the DMV place like 3 times before I was actually able to take my theory test. Because you need things like a social security number, your passport, like so many proofs of addresses and things like that, and things that I didn't have. So it meant me going to different places to get letters for this, and then it was really hard. We thought we'd just turn up and what we had would be enough, but it wasn't. And then they told us we needed something else. So we'd go get that thing, go back for a next appointment, and they'd be like, all right, now you need this. And it's like, could you not just tell us all of the things we needed on that first trip? And it would have avoided us having to make like 2 more trips. So, should have got some water. Let me just grab my water, see if there's any in this. It's empty. But yeah, anyway, so just try, and if you're going to be doing this, then make sure you speak to someone and ask, is this all the information that I will need? Because yeah, then it would have been relatively easy. The theory test was hard in my opinion, but I didn't really do any revision, so practical test, super easy. I literally drive around a car park. So then once we'd got that, it was good, it was easy. Next question is, do you think you will end up wanting to go home to the UK as it can be hard living the dream? I think that's a really hard one to answer because we're 5 months in now. So we've got a good idea on what life here is like. But you just never know what the future holds. Right now at this point, I see us staying in Florida, at least for the length of our visa. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to ask Lee to grab me some water. Lee? Can you just grab me a quick water, please? Oh, sorry guys. Just really need some water. I've got right to clear my throat. So yeah, I can definitely see us staying for the length of our 5-year visa. When that 5 years up, there is the option to renew that, so who knows? But we're very happy right now in Florida. And the next question, these are weird on the floor, like lined up. I've literally just screenshot these, and this says, do you think you will ever return to the UK or stay in Florida forever? Like I say, I don't really believe in like forever homes or forever places. I'm just a kind of, in that kind of sense, you never know what's around the corner, go with the flow. You don't know where you're going to visit and fall in love with. You don't know what circumstances are going to come up. So right now, like I say, we're very happy in Florida and we'd like to stay in Florida for the foreseeable. Can I see us moving other places, living elsewhere? Yeah. Would that be the UK again? I don't know. But yeah, Florida has our hearts. Apart from family, what is something that you miss about being able to see from the UK? Wait, what is something that you miss? Oh, right on cue. Lee brought my drinking for me, thank you. I've got a tickle in my throat. I'm just doing my live, buddy. Jesse just showed me something.
It's hula hooping. Come on, kid.
Wow, that's cool, bud. Thank you. Such a real life when you do it from home, isn't it? So yeah, something that I miss doing or seeing from the UK. So something I miss apart from friends and family is like the ease of it, I'd say. So like moving to a new country, you have to learn everything all over again. So like for the healthcare, for example, just having to learn a whole new healthcare system and like banking. So I miss like the familiarity, if that's the right word, and the ease of life. So there's not anything like specific. Oh, I miss my house too, like my house in the UK. Like we've got a lovely Florida home here, but I was thinking about it literally like a few days ago, like our actual house in England. I miss that. Like that is such an amazing, it was our dream home. And yeah, if I could like move that house to here in a heartbeat. What have you found the biggest differences living in the US to the UK is? So I think the biggest difference from our UK life to our Florida life, I don't know if this is US in general or if this is just Florida. I'd say it's probably Florida for the weather, but the biggest difference we've seen is in our lifestyle, in how we can live day to day. We're able to spend much more time outside doing things. So in England, it would be very weather dependent and you'd find some really cool things, but then you'd be like, oh, is it going to rain there? Or oh, is it going to be nice enough? So the biggest difference I found is that we're just being able to be outside and being way more active. Do you think finding the right home has played a major part in you all settling in so quickly? So that's a good one, because I just said that I did miss our house in the UK. But like I also said, I do love this house so much. We were really lucky when we came to look around different houses that the one we're in now, we got that really good feel from, like the house itself, the whole neighbourhood and community. So I do think that finding somewhere nice to live where you feel like safe and part of a good community has definitely played a part in us settling in so easily, because if you didn't like the house you're in or the community, then that would definitely factor into it, wouldn't it? How long would you say it took you to adjust to the use of language and the way of life in the USA? So I think we adapted very quickly, and I think that is because we came for like long periods of time for the last couple of years, and we visited like every year. I think we've just got really used to it. So I think maybe like 6 weeks in, we really started to get into like a flow and a rhythm of like life here. I noticed that Americans say some things differently, and even still 5 months in now, I have to catch myself. So like, for example, they don't use like quarter past, half past and quarter to on the times. So when I'm saying a time for like an appointment, if I turn up to one, sometimes they're like 1:30, and then I have to catch myself in my head sometimes to say 1:30, not 1:30, because they don't use that and they don't really get it. So yeah, that's something that I've had to adapt to. But otherwise, I think it's relatively easy. Like, we still speak the English language, so most things can be understood. I think that's the same one. Let me get the next one up. Oh, that's the question I've just answered. What about this one then? How do you move out there? So that's a very interesting question, and there is lots of different ways that you can move to the US. The way that we did it, I did a whole video on our visa process. So once this live's finished, I'll make sure to leave that link down below. And if you click on my channel, I think that might be one of the first videos. Let's have a look. Like, if you go to my channel, is that the first video that comes up for you? Oh, it won't show me because I'm doing a live right now, but I'm pretty sure that's one of the first videos that comes up about like our visa process. All the questions that you might have about that would be in there, because there's a lot of different ways depending on your circumstances. I'll tell you the thing that I tell everybody when they ask me about it, and that is to speak to an immigration lawyer. We are not affiliated with any immigration lawyers, although I definitely should be, because the amount of people that I like send their way is crazy. But yeah, speak to somebody so that you can lay your circumstances out, because we weren't really sure on a specific route for us. We had ideas, but we weren't entirely sure. So we laid all our circumstances out for them, and they were able to like pick out a few different visas that we could have been able to take. So yeah, it's all going to depend on your individual circumstances. So speak to an immigration lawyer, lay everything out, and they'll find a way that works for you. I've got two on top of each other, and it's, has Jessie settled in? How is Jessie settling in? Jessie's settling in. Awesome. Like, people told me before we moved here, like, you don't give kids enough credit and they'll find the move really easy. And Jessie definitely has done. He's doing absolutely fabulous. So he's 4 years old. So he's still very much that young child phase that will test you. So when we moved here, it was like 3 weeks until about 7 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. So like week 3 to 6-ish. He was definitely testing us quite a bit. But I think that's just normal because his surroundings and settings were different. It's different to a holiday. because you settle in, and that 3-week mark I think just marks the difference between a holiday and staying somewhere for a bit longer. So he definitely started to push the boundaries. Now we're in a new place, we've got new routine, new things going on. It was just like testing out what the new rules are, what things apply. So he definitely had that testing phase for a few weeks, and that was hard, I'm not gonna lie, but like I say, in the back of my mind I just had to try and remember that it's because of the transition. And he has settled back down really well now, and yeah, it's just that testing the new boundaries out and seeing what it's going to be like. So yeah, he's now settled in really well. He's making so many friends, I think, because out here people are just very welcoming and friendly, and they basically chat to anybody. So we've made a lot of friends just from being out of the house. Like, we've been to the pool a couple of times and we've made like a couple of really good friends, and that's been really good for Jesse because his social skills have rapidly improved. Like, when we first came here, he'd take a while to warm up to people. Now he'll just like go out and make friends and go off in the pool and start chatting to kids and playing. So yeah, I think he's settling in really well, and he has really come on. Like, he's definitely a Florida kid. So I've got 2 questions which are similar. Is it everything you thought it would be, and do you love it as much as you thought you would? So short answer, yes. Also, I'm sorry I'm drinking so much. I've had a cold this week and I'm just getting over it, so I've got a bit of a scratchy dry throat going on. But yeah, we definitely love it as much as we thought we would, and it is everything we thought it would be. And I'm so grateful for that, because you just never know, do you? Like, you have your ideals and yeah, your ideas of how you think your life is going to look over there or over here now, and yeah, we love it. We love living here so much, and I think it's been a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Not in a bad way. Like, obviously I miss friends and family and aspects of it, but I'm not like homesick yet. Like, I don't know if that ever will hit me, but like 5 months in and I don't miss the UK. Obviously, would it be awesome if friends and family were here? Yeah, obviously that goes without saying. But like, obviously there's FaceTime now. Obviously my parents visited last week, and when they came it was like no time had passed at all, because we chat on FaceTime like weekly anyway. So yeah, I don't know, I just I don't feel homesick because I'm still chatting to all those people back at home anyway. So just because you're not physically in the same room as them, I am still in contact with them. So I think that's definitely helping. Like, modern technology obviously is so much better now than if we'd moved like 20, even 10 years ago. So I think like that homesickness is a lot easier to deal with like today. Next question is, how's it been meeting and making friends? So there's been like a few different ways we've made friends. For me personally, and like my personal friends, I've met them all on Instagram and like YouTube. So that's really cool, like doing this and chatting to people like before I came out, and then people finding me because I'd made the move like before they had. It's been like a great way to make friends. And then some friends that I've made, they've got some friends, so like I've just been introduced to those friends through it as well. So that's kind of how I've personally made friends. Lee and Jessie have made friends like through the like local community, whether that's like neighbours, going to the pool, school. Lee's made some from the gym. So I think it's just about being open and putting yourself out there. So like, if someone says something to you, like, don't just be closed off, like be open to the experience of making new friends. Like, I think as adults, we're closed off and we think like if we speak to someone, we can't be their friend, like, because these are our friends. And I don't know, it just seems weird. But if you think about it, when you're a kid, if you go somewhere and you meet someone and you like them, they're your friend and you want to like do more things with them. And that's how adults seem to be out here as well, which is really nice, really good, because why should it not be like that? I think that's such an awesome way. So you go to like the gym like Lee did and you meet somebody and you're chatting. Why could you not become their friend and invite them elsewhere? So that's, yeah, how we've made friends, just being open to the possibility of everyone being your friend. And yeah, it can be a bit tiring sometimes, you know, like putting in the effort all the time. Like when you first move over here. I remember I went to a party maybe like a month or so ago and I was just like, oh, I'm done. I don't want to like put in the effort of like making new friends anymore. But we're actually going to their party next, so clearly that worked. But yeah, I think it is quite easy if you're open to it. If you're closed off, yeah, it will be harder. But if you're just open to it and willing to give it a go, it's easy. Let me see. There's a lot of similar questions. So I'm just going through them and picking out some different ones. Let's have a look. Okay, so this one says, how you've adapted or gotten any anxiety about leaving family and how the healthcare system works. So I think that's like a few things, isn't it? So how you've adapted or gotten any anxiety about leaving family. Okay. So I personally have found it really easy to adapt. And the biggest thing that ever put me off moving to Florida was like leaving friends and family, especially behind. But they just got to a point a couple of years ago where I was like, as hard as it would be to not see in person your family every week, I can't let that stop me from doing something that I'm really interested in doing, because if I didn't like it, I can always move home. Like, I would hate to get to like 70, 80 years old and be like, oh, I wish I tried living in Florida for a bit, because like to me that would just feel so sad. And also I, as a parent now, would hate like when I'm older, like when I'm like 50 years old or like 60 or 70, like I say, and Jessie came to me and it was like, oh yeah, I was going to move to America or wherever a few years ago, but I didn't because I thought I'd miss you and I thought that'd be hard, you not seeing your grandkids. I'd be like, how dare you, Jessie? Like, you go out and do what you want to do. Like, I would literally say to Jessie, like, my feelings are on me and that's for me to deal with. Obviously, I would miss him, but I'd hate to think that I was holding him back from something that he wanted to do. And me having that realisation made me able to make the decision to move, because I just knew my parents would feel the same way too, if that makes any sense. And then in regards to how the healthcare system works, yeah, it's still to be decided really, isn't it? Because I don't think anyone, even Americans, truly know how the healthcare system works over here. But you have to pay for health insurance. And then there's loads of different packages that you can choose from, loads of different providers. And it's like a phone like package or like car insurance. You're just going through and finding the one that you think works best for you, in terms of how much you want to pay a month, how much you're willing to pay as like an excess type thing, what's covered. And we did find a like comparison website, so that was easily laid out. And then you just have to like chat to people. I asked on Instagram like which companies were reliable, which people recommended. And then from that, we just made a decision which we thought felt right to ourselves. But if you are personally going to be making the move over here, then just send me a message on an Instagram and I'm sure we can like chat something over and help you out a little bit like more in detail. But that's basically how the US health system works. The next question is, How much do you love waking up and knowing you can just go to any park you want that day? I love it so much, and that is so cool. That is literally my life, so it is awesome. Like a couple of weeks ago, I woke up and Jessie went to me and went, Mum, how do you feel about going to Epcot today? And I was just like, heck yeah, kids, let's go to Epcot. So it's not all like when you're on holiday and you've got like a cool outfit planned for every day and you go in looking really cute and stuff like that. Sometimes I'm going to Magic Kingdom at 7 p.m. in like my workout gear, hair scraped back, no makeup on, because we can. And I'm not going to stop a little bit of me I'm not going to stop the fact that I might have had a chill day and I'm just in my comfies, no makeup on, stop me from going to watch the Magic Kingdom fireworks randomly because I can. So yeah, it's absolutely awesome knowing that I can just go to any park I want whenever I feel like it. How are the living costs compared to the UK, roughly for a family of 3? Okay, so the living costs here are very different. They're a lot higher, and a lot of people told us that before we moved, but I don't even think we were prepared for like how much more you do spend here. So like, obviously you've got to pay for your health insurance, which is an extra. Groceries, so like your food shop out here is a lot more expensive. So say like for a big food shop at home in England, we might spend anywhere from like 140 to 200 pounds, and I'm talking for like your big food shop, you know, like when you're stocking up on like your tins, your pasta. Out here, if you want to do a big shop like that, it's like over $300. So you need to be prepared for that if you're going to move. Like the cost of living is a lot higher, but I don't know, like it can be as expensive as you want it in that kind of respect. Like you don't have to go out and spend a load of money, so you can also save a lot as well. I don't know, like, so like when you go to the parks, obviously things are more expensive in the parks, but I will make me and Jessie a picnic to take. So I'll make us like sandwiches, some crisps, take it in a little cool bag, and we'll eat that in the parks. So yeah, the cost of living is definitely more expensive here, but the lifestyle that we've got, to me, is 100% worth it. What has been the biggest change for your family living in Florida? I'd say the biggest change for like my personal family, like here living in Florida, I think we're happier because of all the sunshine and vitamin D we're getting. Like waking up to sunshine flooding through your windows like every, if not most days, is just life-changing. And I can say that because maybe like a month or 6 weeks ago, we woke up and it was a grey morning and I was like, oh, it's rainy today, what's going on, Florida? And it was grey all day, and I just remember feeling like in a bit of a slump. And then I had the realisation, I was like, this is why, because all mornings are like this in England. So the biggest change has been waking up to sunshine and not thinking we need to plan out what we're doing because of the weather, because we can just go out and do what we want when we want. Is it generally cheaper or more expensive for bills, etc., to live instead of the UK? So I think I pretty much covered that in the cost of living. Most bills are more expensive, just the way it is. But that's in Orlando, Florida. So like where we were in the north of England, in like a country area. So if you compare like Orlando is like a big city. So if you compare like the cost of living in Orlando to the cost of living in, say, London, then it's probably not as big a difference compared to living in Orlando versus living in the north of England. So it will depend on where you're coming from. So if you're coming from like the south or a big city, then it won't be as big a drastic difference. But yeah, if you're coming from like northern sleepy towns like we did, then it will be a bigger difference. someone's asked, what do you miss from the UK? Which I think I've already covered, but said, and don't miss. So that's good. What don't I miss about the UK? The rain, the cold. What else don't I miss? Ooh, do you know what? This is like a bit of a controversial one because I'm pretty sure like a lot of people watching are from England, but I don't miss like the general English negative tone. Obviously that's not everybody, but I don't miss the general pessimistic tone. That's what I'm looking for. So I feel like people's vibes and energy out here is a lot more optimistic. So I definitely don't miss the pessimistic, complainy kind of culture in England. So sorry, English people. I mean, I'm English myself, but I feel like I'm American at heart. What are you doing for childcare or school for Jessie? So we're not actually too sure yet. They don't actually start school here until like the year after. So Jessie's 4 right now. So if we were in England, he would start like school this September, but he won't start until the following year. So he won't start until like they start August rather than September. So he won't start until like next August. And also there's just a lot more different schooling options out here too. So we're not entirely sure what that's going to look like for us yet, but we've still got lots of time. And I've always said that being out here, I feel like we'll find our people, we'll find our community, and what works for us will kind of just fall into place. So that's what I'm going off right now. I'm trying to see if there's any different ones because a lot of them are very similar. Someone's asked, what does a typical day in the life look like? And I wasn't going to answer that because like every day is different, but that's exactly why I should answer it. So every day is very different here. And although we have a routine that probably is quite similar, like every day looks so different. So we'll wake up, we'll have breakfast. Some days we'll go for a morning walk, we'll go to a playground, a park. We might throw the ball for the dogs. Some days I get up early and go do an early morning workout class. Some days Lee'll go do a run, but generally that's what like the first part of the morning will look like. We'll have breakfast, get ready, and then we'll decide what we're doing depending on what we've already got like in the calendar, like appointments wise, depending on what day it is. But then like the main chunk of the day is when me and Jessie will do like an activity. So whether that's like we're staying at home, so like on a Monday I do the cleaning. So on a Monday I do the cleaning. Some days we sack it off and we go to Disney, but you know, that's how it can be. So yeah, Mondays I usually do the cleaning, or we'll go to Disney. And yeah, so the main chunk of the day we'll have an activity, whether that's at home, nipping out, running errands. I'll always plan something fun for us to do, whether that's like doing some arts and crafts, some colouring. I try and do things that can include me and Jessie together. Lee tries to make sure that he's finished work for around about 5 o'clock so that we can have nice family time. And then on an evening is when we like to go to the pool. We'll sit outside and play. Jessie will play out with the neighbours, with his friends. We'll make dinner together as a family. We'll go do like one of the activities. So Jessie goes to gymnastics one evening because he did gymnastics in the UK, and we've just found him a new gymnastics class. Has been going I think about 4 weeks now, and we love it. So some nights he goes to gymnastics, and yeah, so that's kind of what a typical day looks like. But every day is different, and I like that. So yeah. Let me check if there's any really different ones. Yeah, there's a lot of questions that are similar. So I think that's all the questions I've got on Instagram. So if you've got any other questions, leave them in the live chat box now and I can get back to them. Let's see if you've already left any questions. What foods do you prefer in the USA versus the UK? Okay, so in the UK, I miss juice, what I call juice. So like a cordial or a squash, like, you know, like the Robinsons. So that's what I drink. I drink juice. There's only a little bit of it left now. I don't really do that the same out here, so I made sure to fetch like a stash, and then I asked my parents to bring some, so they've brought me some. So what I'd call juice in the UK is definitely better. Oh, what else? Bread in the UK is definitely better. Bread in the USA is just, it's like cake bread, which obviously on occasion that's fine. It's nice to have brioche, but bread is better in the UK for sure. Somebody asked, did you guys have to change jobs to make the move? No, so it was actually Lee's job that enabled us to make this move. So Lee has his own company, his own business, and that does trade with the US. So that was the route to getting us here, was to improve the trade between his business and the US. Have you been able to find the kinds of foods you want to be able to still be healthy and get a balanced diet? You hear so much about the over-processed food. Yes, so the food out here is definitely different, and 100% some foods are terrible. And I think it's just being aware of that and making conscious choices. So making sure that you're choosing meat that is like hormone or antibiotic free, buying organic things where you can, going and getting your produce from like local places like farm shops or farmers markets, and yeah, just really looking at the labels and the packaging, and then you'll find a few pieces where you know like that's safe. You don't have to look at everything all the time. So yeah, it's definitely something that we're aware of, but you can still get like a whole balanced diet, especially if you're choosing to eat more whole foods, which no one's perfect. We all go out and eat food. We all want like a burger and stuff, but overall, like, you can definitely eat whole natural foods out here. Just make sure you read the packaging, and then once you're aware of which brands are good or like what pieces are good from which brands, then it's fine. What does your hubby do for work that was able to give you a life in America? So he has his own company, he has his own business, and the way we were able to do it is because his business does trade with the US. So for the E1 visa, it's like a trade visa. So there has to be so much trade between a company and the US. And then we are able to get over here because his company does so much trade with the US. And the idea of getting the visa is that you can improve trade and connections. So that's how we got over here. How do the costs of gym and fitness classes compare to here? Were you able to fit in easily with the classes you joined? Yeah, so this can be a bit varied. So like fitness classes, I never did in the UK, so I don't know the price of them. But I go to a bar class over here, and I was really shocked at the price of that to begin with. That was way more than any gym membership I had ever experienced in my life. But it was a class that I really wanted to do, so we joined that. But Lee's gym, however, was like dirt cheap, so it kind of like balanced each other out a little bit. Again, you just need to shop around and find what's right for you. I would say classes will be more expensive here, but if you just want like a gym just to go and work out yourself, then you can find them for really affordable. Is there any activity that you haven't yet tried which isn't Disney or Universal related? Yes, 100%, so many things. I literally have a list, like a note compiled on my phone of activities that are outside of the parks that we want to do. We did one the other day with my parents, which was awesome, and that was Showcase of Citrus. Now that's up in Claremont, and it's like a big monster truck safari. Jesse he lost his mind, he loved it. And you get in this, it's like a farm, and they grow their own oranges, I think he said like flowers. They're a cattle farm, maybe. I could be making this up, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. And they have different animals there as well. They have like a farm shop. And yeah, you get in this, it's a big old converted school bus that they've made into like a big monster truck, and you basically go around and see all the animals and see the land, and that obviously is outside the parks, and that was so cool to do. But there's lots of other activities. I would pull it up, but it's on my phone, on my notes. Oh, I can do it on my laptop, can't I? Let's see. What else have we got on my list? Where are you? I have so many notes, things to do. Yeah, so one thing we've still got on the list, which we've had on for like over a year now, is to go to Kissimmee Old Town. Never been there. Definitely want to try that out, because a lot of people told me it's like a lot of fun, especially if you go on like one of the weekends when there's car shows on. Really fun to do. In the same kind of realm of that, I've never done like Dieselland or Fun Spot. So yeah, there's still plenty things outside of the parks that we'd like to do. Hey darling. Yes. Yep. You're just getting ready for a party we're going to. Are people in America more positive or negative than the UK from your experience? So I think I touched on this, but I'd say they're definitely more positive. Tasmania, Australia. Wow, hi. Thank you so much. What's it like not having extended family nearby in Florida? So sometimes it can be hard, like when it's just us three all the time. Like, I definitely appreciate some childcare. I'm not gonna lie on that one. Like, I love Jesse, and he is absolutely an amazing kid. Like, he's not a difficult child whatsoever. But yeah, just to be able to like drop him off with grandparents or cousins, even if we were there, you know, just having him able to play with someone else, and you can have adult conversations. So I definitely miss that aspect of it. But now that we're making more friends, we're definitely getting some of that back as well. So that's good. What are yours, Jesse's and Lee's hobbies, or your favourite things to do? Oh, that's an interesting question. We all love our hobbies. I love Disney. I love Disney, Florida, and the theme parks, which is good job I'm living here, really, isn't it? But I'm also like a typical girl. I love going shopping. I love getting my nails done. I enjoy going like places to eat. I really love eating out and like doing brunch, doing lunch, doing breakfast, doing all of the above. So yeah, that's what I like doing. Lee's really into cars. He's always had such a big interest in cars, so he likes going to car shows, and Jesse is following down that way as well. Like, he's really interested in cars, and they'll go to car shows together. Jesse also right now is massive on monster trucks and Spider-Man. That's his latest obsessions. Oh, so this is one thing I knew I had to address. So, your hair looks amazing. How have you found hairdressers out there? I heard a horror story on another vlog about it being $500 for foils and trim and blow dry. So I need to address the elephant in the room. My hair's long again. I got hair extensions. I shared it on Instagram, but I don't think I ever shared it here on YouTube. But yeah, I got hair extensions because my own hair, I was on a hair health journey, and it is looking so good, my natural hair now, but it just wasn't the length I wanted. And I tried for 9 months to do the short hair thing. It's not for me. I'm like a long-haired princess hair kind of girl. So I got extensions in, and me and my hairdresser are doing really good. Don't mind Ozzy going mental in the background here. Ozzy, you're on YouTube. yeah, so we're really looking after my hair, and obviously she knows everything that I went through, so we're on a real journey to keep it looking good while maintaining the newfound length. But I'm not gonna lie, the cost of hair out here is ridiculous. My extensions actually weren't. They were the same price as what I'd previously paid in the UK for extensions, so that was fine. Colouring, I'm not gonna lie, that vlog where you said it was $500 for that is very accurate. That is, yeah, that's normal. That's how much you're gonna pay for that out here. So be prepared for that. Like, I'm growing my roots out a little bit now so that I can have like more of like a gradual fade, so that I don't have to get it done as much, to save on the condition of my hair, but also on the cost, so I don't have to get a big bill every time I want my hair done. How are you adjusting to the weather, especially the heat and humidity? We love it. I think we came at a really good time because we got here in January. When we got here, it was the cold week. And when we tell that now, everyone was like, oh, did you get here during that week? That was freezing. We're like, yeah, that's when we got here. So we've kind of just like gone through the seasons with Florida. We came here when it was not too dissimilar to England, and it was cold and rainy for the week we got here, and then it's just gradually got warmer and warmer, and the humidity has gone up, so we've kind of acclimatized really well. We've noticed like the past couple of weeks the heat and humidity has definitely ramped up. It's definitely like summertime now, but it's not terrible. Like, you just don't go for a walk in the midday sun, and you go, if you are, you take water, and yeah, just try and avoid certain things like being out for prolonged periods of time, and then going into aircon buildings helps. So I think we've acclimatized really well. After living in Florida for a few months, what would your advice be for someone looking to move from the UK that maybe you didn't think about before moving? Oh, I like that question. Good question. I'm going to think about that one. What piece of advice would I give that I'd not thought about before moving? That is a really good question. That might be one that I have to think about. Do you know what? I'm going to think about that question, and I'm going to write that down and save that, and I'm going to make like that into like a video or a post or something like that. So bear with me for that question. How have the dogs adapted to the move? The dogs have adapted really easily too. We were really concerned about them, especially with the heat. But again, I think because they came at like a cooler time, and now it's just like gradually heating up, they're fine. They got a groom the other week, so they've lost all like their shaggy fur now, and they're doing a lot better. We got them a cooling mat. They were definitely at first panting quite a bit, and the tummies were a bit unsettled. But after like a good month, I'd say it took them to like properly adjust. But now they're absolutely fine, back to their normal selves. I've only got 5 minutes, by the way, before I have to leave, so that's why I'm kind of rushing it a little bit now. What's still on your Florida bucket list? The beach. So we love the beach, but we've not done a beach day while we've been living here, so that is top on our bucket list to do. How do people in Florida compare to where you're from? Friendlier or more laid back? So I think I've already said this, like definitely friendlier, more positive, and definitely more laid back. Yeah, I think that's just the Florida way of life. And then I'll take this last question, which is, what are mine, Lee's and Jessie's favourite Disney ride and character and park? So I think it changes. Jesse's character, his favourite is Pluto. His favourite ride he calls the Donald Duck boat ride, and that's the Grand Fiesta Tour, the Three Caballeros at Epcot. And he would say his favourite park is Epcot. My favourite park was always Magic Kingdom for the last few years. Since living here, it might have changed a little bit to Epcot. Maybe just because I've been to Epcot more. My favourite character is Mickey Mouse. Hands down, always, yeah. He's the main man. My favourite ride is Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind. We did it the other day, me and Lee went, and it was so good. I'm not sure what Lee's is, I'd have to ask and get back to you about that. how much do you think Jesse's Auntie Jess will like coming out to see you guys? Oh, I think she's gonna love it so much. So my brother's girlfriend Jess, so Jesse's Auntie Jess, she is a massive Disney adult like me. Hi Jess, I know you're watching. And she's gonna be blown away. She's gonna love it so much. I'm definitely gonna film some vlogs with them because they're coming on a proper like Disney holiday. And they've said they'd love to film some videos with me. So yeah, you'll definitely see them on videos at the end of the year. But I think that's going to be it from me now. I have to go with my family to a party. But thank you so much for watching and joining in on this live today. I'm sorry it was a little bit last minute here, there and everywhere. But I will at some point like update the description box down below and get like a nice little thumbnail. So if you're watching this back on a rerun, hopefully it looks good. But yeah, that is all from me today. I'll be back joining you here on YouTube next Sunday, usual 7 p.m. UK time or 2 p.m. Florida time. Not sure what that video is going to be yet. I'll have to look at my list of things I've got going on. But if you do have any suggestions or you want to pick what that is, let me know in the comments down below or message me on Instagram if there's something in particular you wanted me to do for next week's video. Other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Bye!